Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the um, different lines for Hasbro and Takara. I had a few people asking about it, so I figured I'd just go in and make a video kind of talking through it. So what you have seen in front of you here is the Mainline Ultra Magnus, the Missing Link Ultra Magnus, and the Takara Masterpiece version. So every essentially collector has a different preference, and sometimes it's not even, you don't have to have a preference. Sometimes you can kind of dabble them all, but I really wanted to address the Mainline now that the Missing Link is out, because there is a big difference in what these things are doing. So for the Missing Link, as you guys may know, this is just the original toy that has been modified to have more articulation. So if you had Ultra Magnus as a kid, this guy was pretty much a brick, except for the arms. You know, his head didn't move side to side, only his arms moved in and out, his legs didn't move at all. So now you have articulation here because of how they've restructured the back. So the legs actually have a little more, additional joints here in the white prime, and it locks into place. Now it's not great. I'll tell you that now. It's not one of these things where this guy's super dynamic like the Studio Series 86 version, but at the end of the day, it has way more articulation, and it's just a different look. But for you guys who are collecting just strictly Mainline, I just want you guys to see what you're getting in comparison to the Takara piece. So with the Takara piece here, it's really just an updated version of this, because this piece here is 11 years old. So that's a very old Ultra Magnus. But you got the opening chest, you got the matrix chamber. The back of it cleans up about the same. So you do have, and I've got his gun ported in on the back. But as you can see, they really look good. I mean, this is, I would say, definitely the new one is more cleaned up as far as the Mainline. Series 86 version is more clean, just because it's newer. I mean, you would expect them to improve on engineering, which I definitely think they did. The only thing that you see here on the side is with the wheels, is that on the Series 86 version, those are his wheels. So you just drop them down a little bit. Whereas on the Masterpiece version, it's just like the animation where the wheels aren't real wheels. These actually drop down and spin around. So those are his real rubber wheels. And then when he goes into transformation mode, it's the fake wheels, because of course he doesn't use wheels at that point. So that's a nice little touch, which I think they could probably, it wasn't necessary on the Mainline, but I could see them redoing this guy and giving him that option at some point. But really, if you want, just looking at these three together, let me put them back here. And I got mine out with the gun in the left hand, because on the poster he's shooting at Unicron with his left hand. So just one of those things. We all know he's a righty in the movie, but just kind of give you guys a breakdown. So between Mainline, Missing Link, and Masterpiece. Now, pricing wise, these two units sold for about the same price. So when this was new, this was about a $200 piece. And we know this on the Missing Link right now is like $189, $190, and then Ultra Magnus is basically $100. So if you're jumping into, if you're in Studio Series 86 right now, or you're just a Mainline collector, there is a big jump to go to Missing Link. Now, I'll definitely tell you, as someone who collects, as you can see, I collect them all, just about everything here. So I do have some Missing Link. I'm not collecting them all. I do have SS86. I am collecting all of those. So I am 100% collecting every single piece that comes out. When it comes out, I haven't waited for any pieces, I think, other than the first Battle Damage. What was that? Ratchet and Brawn. That was the only thing I ever waited on. Everything else I got as soon as it came out. So I am current on SS86 stuff. Missing Link, I'm only picking up a couple things right now. This is the only one I've gotten so far, and I'm hoping for a Jazz, because Jazz is my first Transformer. So it'd be great to have a toy version of him updated, and then I think the only thing I would probably pick up is maybe my favorite 3 Decepticons. So Cyclonus, Galvatron, and Scourge. So and I've got a video on those guys coming soon because I've got waiting on a couple pieces to come in. So, but I really wanted to kind of talk to you guys about this here specifically. So, what's the difference and what are you doing as you move through? So, from starters, if you're going SS86 and you're going for an aesthetic, then the Missing Link doesn't fit. Missing Link is really good if you are a vintage collector and you're looking to either update your vintage look with basically brand new toys, or if you're looking to start a vintage looking collection and you wanted something that looked like the original. Now I'll tell you, I know a lot of people who are selling off their G1 for money, because G1 toys are definitely valuable. I mean, this guy here, in out of box, it's like $250. So if you get for the original, so you may be able to, and then some of course that are rare or even more expensive. But you may want to sell off your original G1 and then get Missing Link, so you got all brand new. And of course you can always get those in box if you're in box collector, which is great because the boxes look awesome. Having that, and I'm actually picking up a second one so I can have one in box. Along with 2 Delta Magnets. I've got one coming from Big Bag Toy Store and then one coming from shows the shout out to Tadirum Hanger because support your reviewer, and I am supporting him on that. But yeah, so when you look at these pieces, they don't really interchange. Now I'll definitely tell you, a lot of people are complaining about this SS86 Ultra Magnus that he was too big. And one of the reasons is, if you bring him here with like Megatron, he's sizable over Megatron. I don't think that's huge. I don't think this is like a massive, and put him side by side so that's him there. I don't look at him and think this Ultra Magnus is way too big. Now he is a little too wide because of all the compression here with the panels, but to me that's a great substitute for what they did. They could have easily just made it where it was kind of janky looking, but I think they did a great job of compressing all that. But for me, I've always liked Magnus bigger, and I think this is a good representation in the SS86 line. But I'll tell you this, if you actually want to drop in Ultra Magnus, the Takara version, now that's huge, but he's not like combiner size, he's just bigger than Megatron. Now, the one thing I do like about the Masterpiece scale when it comes to the transformation, and once he goes into his alt mode, what you'll notice is, he's not snapped in all the way here. There we go. When he goes into transformation, I think he scales better with them in robot mode because, of course, in alt mode, because when you put them in alt mode, essentially the cars don't scale really well. But before I go there, I'll show you like Kranix and Skywarp here. So yes, that's oversized for sure. But to me, I like my Magnus a little on the larger side, so I think it's a great fit. Because sometimes you look at Ultra Magnus in the movie, he's huge, and sometimes you look at him, he's basically not much bigger than like Springer, So, but I do like this look. But if you're looking for something to fit in here, I think this is either one of these guys could work in your mainline collection depending on where you had them placed. So, but the main difference is between those three is going to be not only where you put them in your collection. If you're collecting for a specific character, so you guys know I'm a big Ultra Magnus fan, so I have multiple versions of him. Legend scale, micro scale, I have the fans toys coming in that's being painted. I've got the new IDW one coming in. That should be here next week, so I'll have another kind of like Magnus spread video, but a lot of times people will pick up their favorite Transformer in the best version, because if this is your favorite person, if Megatron's your favorite guy, having a a perfected version of them definitely is something that's cool to have as a one-off, you know. So I'm not saying you have to go masterpiece for everything in to add to your line here for mainline if you're a mainline collector, but it may be something that you want to do just so you have a collection that represents your favorite person. And then of course with Missing Link is just, it is to me it's like rebuilding your collection from scratch. Now I could see a lot of people who wouldn't do like the SS86 versions and sell all those off and just do the toy versions, because that's all the G1. The Missing Link is basically just your toy versions G1. And I think that's a super cool idea, because you can, for us who grew up with this toy, I mean, like I said, this was my first ever Commander. I didn't have Optimus Prime. I saw the movie first, as A6 movie at 12, and then I went back and watched the cartoons. And so for me, I'm more of a fan of, you know, the season 3 Transformers. So, you know, Springer and Cup and, you know, Scourge and Cyclonus and those guys. So, you know, but like I say, my first toy was Jazz, my second toy was Springer, and my third toy I think was Ultra Magnus. And then I ended up going back and picking some of the older ones up too, you know, between, you know, after 12 years old when I started picking those collection Transformers. So if you're going to go this route, this is such a cool way to make your collection unique, whether you're out of box or in box. If you go the mainline route, then what you're getting is, in a lot of cases, you're getting some very upscale quality and a cheaper price, because we know these things are not cheap. I mean, $100 for a Commander class is high, and we know it's probably going to get higher with the way prices have been going up with Hasbro lately. But, you know, across the board, I mean, what is your pick? Is your pick mainline? Is your pick Missing Link? Or is your pick Masterpiece? And then from there, where do you want to go? Now with Masterpiece, unfortunately, you have to go MPG route, which is a little stylized. It's not as vast of a line, because unless you go back and pick up some old stuff from Takara, or you pick up third party like Fan Source or X-Transbots, because unfortunately, or Magic Square, those guys too, Takara's not doing that anymore. So you do have some limitations in Takara, and Takara never really went deep in their line anyway. Missing Link, they seem to be really committed to this line, and I feel that this may be a complete reproduction of every toy that we've gotten from maybe 84 through 86. You know, they haven't really said where they're going to stop with this, but so far, this seems to be a great committed line. So if you like, if you like the toy look, great way to go. And of course, if you're mainline, then mainline is just super cool, because you can do whatever you want in that case, and the breadth of figures is it's massive. You know, you have now that we know Studio Series is going to be about you know, media representation accuracy, so whether it's comic books, cartoons, movies, live action, animation, whatever. And so we're going to get that. And then Generations, which is like Legacy and Age of the Prime, stuff like that, it's going to be, you know, their sandbox. So I think that's kind of a neat differentiation. So, and with 86 kind of coming to a close, we really are almost done with this. So if you're going to jump into SSG1, then you're looking at an animation version. Now, do you want your animation version or do you want your toy version? And that's always a big debate. And I think Missing Link is such a great option to give you that that look for the toy version, a true toy version, not the toy version of the animated model. Because if you put this guy in these colors, he would not be toy accurate. He would be toy accurate colors. This is toy accurate. So that's your other piece there. It's looking at which one do you want. Do you want the toy accurate version, or do you want the animation version accuracy? And you know, punching a little bit here, and this is where you land. And I think some people are going to pick both. Some people are going to pick one over the other. But this is definitely where you're going to with this particular route. So as these lines start to progress, and I just want to show you guys one more thing as far as the scaling. So for you guys who are thinking that Masterpiece doesn't really scale well with mainline, So here is the Delta Magnus. This is the Masterpiece Delta Magnus, of course. Let me punch out a little bit. So here are the Autobots. There's a couple of vehicles here. Now, to me, when I look at a car carrier, this is what a car carrier looks like. If I put this Porsche next to this rig here on the ground, let me back out a little bit here. These are not the same size. These are not remotely close to the same size. You know, same thing with Hot Rod. So a car carrier should be much larger than a car that it's carrying. So the problem is with the SS86 Ultra Magnus, when you put them in car carrier mode, the cars, you can't really get, oh, that was weird. You don't really get the cars to fit on there properly. So, because this area is so much shorter. So, same thing for inside. Put that in here. And that to me looks way more in scale. So, that's what I was saying. You can always mix some of your Masterpiece with your Mainline, depending on how you have them displayed. So for my section of my display that has the car carrier version, when I get this all done, I'll have my Takara piece, you know, with my my Mainline and on the carrier, because like I said, that is just a way more accurate look, and that's 100% in scale to me, in universe and even out of universe for a car carrier. Now, granted, when you get them in a robot mode, again, like we said before, maybe that's not where you want to go. Let me move him out of the way. You know, maybe having your Ultra Magnus that big against your Megatron, that might be too big for you. But again, you can mix and match depending on where you have them in the line. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about, you know, the Missing Link Mainline and Masterpiece ideas. You know, is it something that you can mix in and out of your collection? Or as far as your display goes, do you like to have your displays separate? Have you even picked up any Masterpiece? Are you looking to pick up any Mainline pieces? You know, let me know your thoughts on comment below. Appreciate you guys' time. Thanks for hanging out. Later.